Over the last century, there have been many auspicious occurrences that have served as anchor points for awakening humanity. These events have occurred in waves, spread out over time so that as many people as possible could evolve in the gentlest and easiest of ways. An awakening is less about a destination we are trying to reach, to increasingly become more of our true and authentic self. Many around you cannot see the current Red Sea that is parted. Their spiritual eyes and clear soul sight are not yet that developed to be able to see it, but you can. And this is what we will draw attention to today. For as you journey, the further away you get from the 3D shores of Pharaoh enslavement timelines, the greater uncertainty, the more human aspects of you feel, trigger, and become. And yet as you step into the choice to keep moving forward despite the uncertainty of what is ahead, and with the clarity of the certainty of the decrepitness of your old life, more of your spiritual vision awakens, and thus more of your physical spiritual gifts become increasingly felt and known to you. On Earth, you are left very much to your own ideas of how to live in the lower dimensions. But eventually you feel the urge to seek your origin and the meaning of your life. As soon as you are able to comprehend what it is all about, we will open your mind to the truth step by step at a pace that suits you. Our methods and approach to enlightening you are well tried and tested, and we will keep you on the right path to make the best use of your time. There is so much information that we can give you that will help your grasp and understanding of the truth. However, all in good time with the onus on enlarging your ability to take on new ideas. That will enhance your ideas of what the future holds for you. From my perspective, some Earth humans may have adult bodies, but I personally don't think they are very adult. I am not arguing that you should take certain people's rights away or treat people condescendingly. But I am saying that it's useful to keep in mind that just because someone has the body of an adult doesn't necessarily mean that they have the consciousness and awareness that you would expect an adult to have. For example, many people assume that anyone who has the body of an adult is a logical person who arrives at their beliefs through facts and reason. In reality, most people on Earth right now believe whatever is most psychologically comfortable. Part of that can be seen as immaturity, or part of that can be seen as possibly adult people being so squeezed and overburdened that they're looking for psychologically comforting beliefs. Some may still be in the place where they believe that awakening is a matter of being saved by something outside themselves, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong in anyone's growth process, and there is always individual choice about how growth happens. The bigger question is, do we want our awakening journey to flow as easily as possible? Or do we want it to be more challenging? Each of us is exactly where we are meant to be right now. That doorway leading us to a more awakened version of ourselves will not close before we are ready to move through it. It will not leave you or anyone behind. Each of us is simply moving at our own pace. There's no judgment as to which pace is the right one. Every pace is perfect and divine for whatever path of growth and expansion we are on. The doorway to awakening we've co-created is as close to us as our sacred breath. The ascension path requires inner soul sight. It requires inner ascension sight. The only way to travel out of the shores of 3D illusions and uncertainty into God's timeline again is with and through ever-increasing willingness to listen within to the still, small, subtle yet clear divine and perfect essence of God, guiding your every knowing, step, awareness, and faith. Tune your divine wind instrument to the sacred soul breath of God. Attune your living Christed consciousness to the map of sovereignty, multidimensional soul sight, and sentient mastery that you have always had within you. Whole soul mastery lives within you. It lives within your faith, your sentience. And this attunement and alignment are augmented and fortified with sacred soul songs. These are the songs that will help you to breathe your light and life force through your sacred holy vessel. To see when others around you can't see, the pathway back to source within in every single breath. How confusing it must all seem, but be assured very soon the truth shall be made known to you all. In some ways, the battles you have had to learn more of the truth have made you much stronger and resolute to find it. In this respect, we have tried to open your eyes to what has been going on, and how you will find the future that will be much to your liking. Physical life is very much an illusion compared to the existence you will shortly be experiencing, when the vibrations will have increased sufficiently for it to manifest. We mention much of coming events to prepare you for major changes that are coming in the near future. It may be hard to see the light amongst the dark shadows almost engulfing the planet, but it is there and growing. So much so that more souls are becoming enlightened. Believe us when we say that the worst of your troubles are nearly over. But a note of precaution, because the future is also affected by those who presently rule you. They have always operated in the open, yet their intentions have not always been understood or realized as negative. For example, someone on the right may have the out-of-alignment comfort belief. The reason I have a pretty good life is because I am virtuous and worked hard and made smart choices. No one helped me out. I did it all on my own. Anyone who doesn't have a good life is either immoral or lazy or made bad choices. And they deserve what they get. If someone is struggling, they should just stop making bad choices and work hard, and that will fix it. Now, there are some good parts of this belief. Personal responsibility is very important. And sure, making good choices and working hard can absolutely help someone build a better life. A more moderate version of this belief would just be a good belief to have. But the somewhat extreme version of the belief that I just shared is overly simplistic and self-serving and a bit callous. Not everyone who is struggling can solve their problems just by working harder. If someone on the right expresses this belief, it can easily make someone on the left feel bad and unsafe. And for understandable reasons, it's entirely possible that this struggling left-winger didn't have as much financial support from their family, or is struggling with a health issue that the right-winger doesn't have, etc. When we reflect on these questions, it's so easy to see the changes, isn't it? Signals of an awakening. With the immense amount of energy being downloaded into our planet every day, it's important to honor our integration process. Many of us have come to recognize the signs of these integrations as awakening or ascension symptoms. For those who may not be aware of what these signs are, the list below offers some clarity on what millions of people are experiencing right now. If you are experiencing a physical or emotional symptom you are not sure about, always check with your holistic healthcare practitioner to make sure everything is okay. If we do experience any of the following symptoms, it's important to give ourselves permission to feel them rather than resist them. You are God's sacred seed and divine wind instrument, sounding the light of God's true timeline in every breath, creating music of the spheres and illuminating a pathway for you to continue to faith forward. No matter anything that is going on in the 3D illusions of your lives, God's world and timeline is clear. Creator's love for you is perfect and clear. And as you continue to listen to higher dimensional callings to let go of those 3D illusory shores, and to embrace God's spirit and grace in your every breath, you are more committedly journeying home to Source on the other side of that biblical Red Sea, where everything you ever desire to experience and create awaits you from the inside out. The new 5D Earth is a frequency. It is an alignment. It is ascension creationary code and higher frequencied structure. When you take these breaths and take these ascension steps, to agree with God's timeline and to be God's wind instrument, the path to the new 5D Earth will be what you are walking. And the ease and grace of your arrival will be sentiently assured. That is a faith and fortitude and ascension journey story many are ready to hear. And we will continue this conversation in subsequent messages throughout 2024. That the left winger will feel psychologically drawn to finding some reason why the right winger didn't actually work harder. The right winger was just privileged. Maybe the right winger has male privilege, or white privilege, or some other kind of privilege. So this occasional right-wing comfort belief of I'm successful purely because I worked hard. If you're struggling, then you can solve that by working harder is actually nudging the left to embrace their own comfort beliefs. I can't succeed because I don't have male privilege. Men are so much more privileged than women. I'm a victim. I can't build the life that I want. I'm dependent on the government to get involved and help me. Rich people are always leeches and always oppressors and are always evil extractors of value. But in turn, it is also understandable that if the left expresses these comfort beliefs, that people on the right will be further nudged into adopting their comfort belief. There are plenty of people on the right who didn't have an unfair advantage. They just genuinely worked hard and contributed significantly to the real economy. And if you tell these people that they're just evil, privileged, rich dudes, then you're actually pushing them into the right-wing comfort belief we expressed earlier. If you're struggling, then that's your fault, and you can solve your problems by working harder.